The Jacob Media Sports Network, in partnership with 97.3 ESPN, brings you the Mays and Eytan Show.
Middays with Harry Mays and Eytan Shander.
Now, it's the Midday Show with Harry Mays and Eytan Shander on 97.3 ESPN Radio.
Well, my goodness, man, we finally made it to Friday, and you can go a couple of different ways. You know, we're not going to play Remember When today, Harry, but you've got football that everybody was waiting to see, standing over, just thrilled that football was back, right? That conversation leading up to it. Football, we get football back. People talking about it for like months about what football means to them, what the Eagles mean to them, and all that crap. And finally, you got football last night, and my God, it was awful. This is just terrible.
What do you mean it was awful?
Terrible television.
You weren't pulled into that final drive in the final 2 minutes of the game, you know, with Brett Rippon finding Jawan Winfrey in the corner of the end zone?
Is Brett Rippon related to Mark Rippon?
Yes, he is. He's actually a nephew.
His nephew.
He's a nephew.
Yeah, he is.
Of Mark Rippon.
Now,
Super Bowl MVP Mark Rippon.
That's right, who I'd rather watch out there right now, in his current
He's
state.
actually a pretty good golfer.
Is he? Oh, yeah.
He's in all those celebrity golf things.
Correct.
He's pretty good.
I've seen that before. So things I'd rather do or watch than Rippon's nephew play football. Mark Rippon currently go out there and play football, and Mark Rippon currently go out there and play golf. That was brutal, man. Were you even around? You chastised me. How dare you? Were you even around for the final 2 minutes
No,
of that
I was
game?
not. But I did. Right. I was watching.
My God. Please.
I was watching Khalfani Muhammad, the running back for the Broncos out of Cal.
Were you scouting?
I'm scouting him, you know, in case, for like a third running back in fantasy or something, you know. And I know that's what everybody else was doing who was watching that game last night. They're like, who's this Khalfani Muhammad guy? He don't look too bad.
But Denver already has two backs.
I know.
Philip Lindsay and Royce Freeman. What are you going to do there?
I said third. He's like a third back.
Oh, are you just going to use him on a daily?
Injuries happen, man.
Things happen, right? Injuries happen.
You got to watch out for these guys.
Yeah, handcuff him. Right, handcuff him with Philip Lindsay. There you go.
Handcuff him.
Now, what are you going to do, man? Now that you don't have football again for another week.
I know. You got the Hall of Fame speeches on Saturday. That's usually pretty cool.
Is there anybody that? Yeah, okay. Well, we'll get to the Hall of Fame stuff coming up because that is happening in front of us. But last night, man, I mean that's why I say you have to move this game. That game did absolutely nothing for me, and that's not that I didn't want it to do anything for me. I didn't go into it thinking it wasn't going to do anything for me. But what did you honestly take away from that? Outside of scouting,
nothing.
Deep end daily guys.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
No, absolutely nothing. Yeah.
Nothing.
It's okay, but it's back. You know, it's the start.
You didn't even put any money on that game.
No, I didn't. I don't bet preseason. I told you.
No, but I'm saying like you could have made that game interesting. You put $100
Broncos
on that
were favored
game.
by like 2.5, I think, so they covered a number with that late touchdown.
Of course they were favored. What a joke. Now you also had the Phillies beat the Giants in a series.
That?
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, the Phillies scored as many points as the Atlanta Falcons.
They did.
How about that?
Over the course of 3 games. And now they're minus, 1,000?
No, they're huge favorites tonight with Jason, your boy, Vargas.
Is on the
takes
hill.
the hill tonight against the White Sox, and they're like 200, minus 200.
Now, do you think he's going to go full-on Smiley, which is arrive here and dominate?
Smiley pitches Sunday.
Yeah.
He's going for his third win.
See, this is the problem.
Nola goes Saturday. They could sweep this series.
What are the odds?
Should.
Do we have it? Now, we're at Parks Casino today, all right? Each and every Friday, we move around. We're at Parks Casino today. We've got a great opportunity for you to take $250 and bet it any way you possibly want. It's really simple. Go to parkscasino.com/MES and use our promo code WINNER. You get a risk-free bet of up to $250. So that $250, I would put – last week I told you about the Braves and that series, right?
No, they won 2 out of 3.
They did,
Braves.
and I was tempted to put it on the sweep. This week, I would put – now, we don't have odds in front of us, right, on what the Phillies are to sweep the White Sox?
No, I don't know if those exist.
Yeah, they do. Series odds exist.
Not series odds in basketball and hockey and stuff like that exist, or baseball when you get to the playoffs. They don't do it for the regular season.
I think you can. You can get futures. Okay, well, you could get futures for the next 3 games, knowing starters, right?
Well, I don't know.
You can't bet right now Saturday's game?
I don't know that you can. I don't see it up here.
Well, then I'm never betting. Baseball sucks, if that's the case. If they're not providing me the opportunity to bet on a series or bet on the next 3 games individually.
Just take the run line tonight with the Phillies.
No, I'm going to tell you.
Lay 200.
The smart bet right now is to take the Phillies winning the next 3 games because you laid it out there. Vargas is going to get lucky as all hell tonight. Nola's going to dominate a bad team, and Smiley's Smiley's a Cy Young candidate right now.
The White Sox stink, but the Phillies missed this Giolito guy. Giolito is actually a pretty good pitcher for them, hard-throwing guy, but he doesn't pitch for the Sox this series, so the Phillies are kind of fortunate with that.
That's the difference between the sweep and the 2-1 win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, man, smart money's on the sweep. You don't think so?
No,
you wouldn't put the 200 tonight? The 250
no,
courtesy of Parks?
I don't want to lay 200.
All you need to do, parkscasino.com/MES.
Mm-hmm.
Use the promo code WINNER. You got $250. You don't even need to use your own money.
No, I know.
Now, are you eligible for this?
I don't think so.
You sure? I mean, are they going to track it by information? You put your name in and everything?
Well, you got to put your name and your phone number probably in there. I'm probably ineligible.
That's probably
all right.
true. It's fine.
That's okay.
I'd rather it go to somebody else. I'd rather it go to a worthy cause. Wouldn't you?
Me too.
All right, now you had football last night.
Mm-hmm.
You had baseball yesterday, baseball tonight. We know that Vargas is the guy to look at, so we'll take everybody's reaction. 609-403-0973. It's 6 minutes into the show. What else you got?
Will he top 88 miles an hour on his fastball tonight?
Is that the over-under?
I think he's pretty much around 86, 87 typically.
Should we set the over-under at 87?
Yeah, 87 might be a good number. I think he might be a little pumped up tonight to pitch at Citizens Bank Park.
Right, in front of an actual crowd.
Yeah, exactly. Well, who knows how many people show up.
20,000 yesterday. How about that?
Is that right?
Yeah, 21,000.
Yeah.
21,000 yesterday afternoon. That's a beautiful day. No rain, right,
mm-hmm.
at that point. You had a series-winning game opportunity for the Phillies.
Yeah, against a team that's kind of, nipping
pretty
at
hot.
their heels in the wild card.
I was pretty shocked, man.
Yeah, I was too.
I was pretty shocked that nobody showed up to that Phillies game.
I'm surprised that this Phillies team, they don't want to go away.
Well, now is that you moving the goalpost again, saying that you're back in, you're back dialed in?
No, I'm not. I mean, I am paying attention because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah, we need to find something else to talk about.
At least until we get the Eagles playing a football game next Thursday night against Tennessee.
The conversation's going on right now around this city.
About LeBron and Mr. Griffin.
That's nationally.
Yeah,
I was just saying about the city. Like, we need the Eagles to actually do something.
David Griffin gave ESPN like a platter of some of the best prime rib that they could have for a boring Friday in August, right?
Right, because otherwise they were eating that McDonald's sandwich.
All day long they're going to be talking about it.
That football game was the McDonald's prime rib equivalent. And now they got real food.
Right.
They're probably chopping at the bit.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I look up, say we're at Park, so we have the big screen TVs up here.
Yep.
You can come by, hang out with us. We're here till 2 o'clock, and all the big boards are up. The self-service kiosks are here. Great people will help you through it. If you're new to gambling, new to sports betting, that's fine. There are plenty of people here that will walk you through it. But every time I see up on these screens, man, somebody's talking about it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, on all the national TV shows.
Now think about the
shows.
opposite, though. For us, it would be talking about Carson. Like, I'm really thankful that we didn't spend the summer reinventing ways to talk about Carson Wentz, concerns about Carson Wentz.
Or Nick Foles.
My God.
Departure of Nick Foles. Yeah, that would drive me crazy.
Who would you rather have, Foles or Wentz? Who would you rather have, Wentz or this? Who would you rather have,
Who's more important to the team, Doug Peterson or Carson Wentz?
Your favorite moment as an Eagles, like, what do the Eagles mean to you?
Well, here's the thing.
These open-ended, nonsensical questions.
But I am interested today, since the preseason has now officially begun, to get the feeling from the Eagles fans as to really what their expectations are for this season. Because mine is playing in the Super Bowl, winning the NFC and playing in the Super Bowl. Anything less, I'm going to be very disappointed. I think this team's that good.
Now, you also have to account for injury, right? You're expecting that everybody's healthy.
Oh, yeah, but every team's got to account for injury. All the other teams do, too.
I mean, they're deep. So let's look at this, right? I'm with you, and I wish I could say opposite, but the reality is that everything that we've been talking about, everything that's been told to us from people down there, and even the talking heads, these idiots, same idiots talking about David Griffin today. Carson Wentz is healthy. The Eagles are the best team, or one of the best teams in the NFL.
Absolutely.
Best team in the NFC. We've heard that countless times.
Yeah.
So For me, I guess today would be interesting to kind of look at, because we don't do this enough. We always stay in our fishbowl. That's why we have these recycled topics about, Kelly Green and other crap. So I wonder if we could honestly look at the NFL, or at least the NFC, and say, who is truly a concern to your belief and my belief that this team is a Super Bowl caliber squad? Because you can't account for the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is a wild card. You don't know what the hell's going to happen.
Right.
But you can look around and say, all right, NFC, who's there? Like, who legit in January could knock this Eagles team off, assuming, and I'll even give you, Harry, let's assume they're the number 1 seed.
Well, yeah,
they host.
You got to get home field.
Right.
Because you don't want to go to New Orleans. I wouldn't fear going to L.A. to take on the Rams. I mean, they've already beaten them out there.
Right.
That environment and that, the temperature and everything, I think that is good for the Eagles. But I don't want to go to New Orleans. I don't particularly fear going to Atlanta, but I prefer to have them at home because they're a dome team.
Now, they're a playoff team for you.
I think Atlanta's going to be pretty good. I think Dirk Cutter going back to Atlanta as the offensive coordinator is going to be a good thing for Matt Ryan and that offense. So Atlanta's a team that I'm concerned about. I'm not really worried about Carolina or Tampa Bay. So that's that whole division. Those two, Atlanta and New Orleans, okay?
Now, Atlanta was not good last year.
No, I know.
But they have a bunch of talent now on that offensive line. They just drafted a kid in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're starting 5 first-round picks at the offensive line at one point.
Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, that's a hell of a lot of at least promised talent you have in front of you.
Now,
if Matt Ryan can't throw the football now, then he's cooked.
Well, right. And, he's put up tremendous numbers in his career, but, has always found a way to sort of spit it up in the playoffs. They did get to that one Super Bowl, had the huge lead, and then gave it up. It was unbelievable.
Right.
I'm still trying to figure out how that happened. Now, you go to what's the other division now? We go to the North. Green Bay, I think, is going to bounce back simply because Aaron Rodgers is healthy. Right. I don't know what to make of the new coach and the new offense.
Well,
I don't.
That could be a problem.
It could. They could. And you don't
especially
want to
if it's
go
not
there.
Working.
You don't want to go.
No,
to Green
you don't
Bay
want to go there
in January, right?
But Green Bay coming to Philadelphia. I mean, you've got the ultimate wild card when he's healthy in Aaron Rodgers, but you never know.
He can win anywhere.
True.
Right?
I don't know. I just don't know how good they're going to be, knowing that they have to overcome first-year issues with a head coach, especially because Aaron Rodgers, believe it or not, had problems with a guy, Mike McCarthy, who won a Super Bowl.
Right.
So if you have problems with a guy who won a Super Bowl there for you, chances are that if things aren't going right, it's 6 weeks into it, you're 3-3. Aaron Rodgers might turn into Aaron Rodgers again. Might turn into Jay Cutler.
Right. Now, the Minnesota, I think, for some reason, is going to take a little bit of a step back. Well, I don't know that they're going to be that good.
I don't know.
I think they'll be around a little bit above 500, but not.
Really? I mean, they've got a healthy run game now.
I know.
They've got
I don't
probably,
like Cousins.
You don't like Cousins?
No, I don't like Cousins.
He's got. I mean, you could make the argument, right, that that's the best 2 wide receivers talent as far as tandem in the NFL, right?
What, Minnesota?
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the 2 guys that
Atlanta's
Kirk Cousins
got a really good wide receiver tandems.
You think better than? I mean, what you have in Minnesota? Adam Thielen was pretty much the best.
Yeah, I like Thielen. Yeah, of course I like Thielen. They're good. I just don't like Cousins. I don't believe in Cousins.
That's my point, though, that if Cousins doesn't have a season, then I can't even imagine how much he's going to get dumped on because of all the talent around him. It's like Jameis Winston level stuff.
Right, and then you got the Bears, who have a really good defense. But I don't think all that much of Trubisky. For some reason, I'm not really believing in him either. And I don't believe in Detroit. So there's that division.
I don't think anybody believes in Detroit. Right?
Well, I don't even know if Alfie from Abington believes in Detroit. He's a big Lions fan. Now the West. Seattle. You obviously don't want to go there, but I don't think they're going to be good enough to get a home field. Maybe not even make the playoffs.
They'll be hovering, but yeah.
Russell Wilson will also keep you
But wild card.
Yeah.
I mean, they were a wild card last year. They'll probably hover for that second wild card this year.
Right. Arizona, I'm not expecting anything out of them. Okay. San Francisco is interesting because they get the quarterback back.
Yeah. And they were good with him.
And I think their coach is a pretty good offensive coach.
Right.
Shanahan.
Now they lost a running back due to injury, but they should be okay. And you're right, Garoppolo, I mean, the defense is pretty good. Mm-hmm. It was last year. And Garoppolo, when he was healthy, was able to really impress.
They were that sexy pick last year before he got hurt.
That's right.
To represent the NFC.
Now, they may knock.
Jump.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they may knock. If you look at this realistically, the West might have, if Dallas, it really hinges on Dallas, I think. Well, maybe not, because, like, San Francisco could be good enough where Seattle is kind of either the odd man out, or if they hover because of Russell Wilson, could knock a team like Dallas or
in other words, where they get
Minnesota.
2 wild cards
Right.
out of that division. Yeah, but then you also got Atlanta, or whoever doesn't win the South. You're going to have like Atlanta, Dallas, let's say San Francisco, and maybe Seattle, and let's put in the Bears too.
Oh, well, let's go on record
all
now.
for the wild card.
All right, it's way too early to do this, but
it's never too early.
Exactly, and it's never too early to do this. Right, it could be too early to do, where were you in 1983 when the Philadelphia Eagles won, whatever game. But I'm saying as far as this is concerned, we'll read some text that have come in, 609-403-0973, again, live at Parks Casino till 2 o'clock here on 97.3 ESPN. Give me the 2 wild cards. So let's see if we can agree on the division winners. Let's start with the easy one. The NFC East is the Eagles.
I say the Eagles.
Okay, let's go to the AFC South. Now, are you really going to stick with Atlanta?
The NFC South?
Not New Orleans?
I'm still going to say New Orleans.
Okay, good. So we've got Philadelphia and New Orleans. Now let's go to the West. Rams.
Yes.
Okay. The North.
It's tough.
It's not going to be Minnesota. It's between Chicago and Green Bay.
Yes, and I will say Green Bay.
Man, I don't know how Chicago – like, where does Chicago really regress, though, outside of the quarterback position? They didn't lose any key player. Like, Jordan Howard isn't a major loss for them. It's a good upgrade for us.
No, Cohen is the guy that they
Tariq Cohen, absolutely.
Utilize. He's great.
Absolutely.
Their defense is just that good. They can win games for you. Defense.
That's what I'm saying. So
maybe I'd put the Bears and the Cowboys as your wild cards.
You see, the problem with Green Bay is that by default you have to put Chicago as a wild card. If you go the other way, I mean, you could argue around Green Bay. They're not as talented top to bottom. They're not as talented defensively as Chicago.
No. But the quarterback is just
I agree.
superior.
I agree. So I wonder if you look at this and think, could San Francisco you have Atlanta out of this now. You have Dallas and Chicago in. That's my point, is if Chicago wins the division, it's easier to explain away Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay not making it because of either his injury or the lack of their talent.
And the new coach just
exactly.
isn't the guy.
Exactly. But if you're fixed on, if you want to stick with Green Bay as the division winner, then maybe we'll get texts and people can try to break the tie.
Well, I'm going to stick with two defensive teams in Dallas and Chicago
to make the wild card. So Atlanta misses the playoffs again.
Yes, by a nose.
Man, what does that say for Matt Ryan?
I think they're going to put up a lot of points.
5,000 yards. A guy probably averaged 30 points a game, and you have him missing the playoffs.
Only because New Orleans is just New Orleans.
And now you don't have San Francisco or Seattle making the playoffs at all.
Correct.
See, I think I can go Green Bay.
Now, this is before having seen any of these teams play.
I know. We just said that. I mean, it's the way too early time to do this. But I think I could go Green Bay. See, I would take Chicago to win the NFC North. And then that opens up everything. Because you're not beholden to have Chicago in the playoffs like I think you have to be with your choice. Because we both agree Chicago is a playoff team.
Yeah, based on their defense.
Right. So now, playoff wild card. Boy, Dallas is tough to say no to. Atlanta, I mean, can you imagine?
I think Zeke's going to be back there.
I do too.
And this is all predicated that he's there.
Right,
Okay.
and their defense is too good. So I'll give you Dallas. I really want to say San Francisco is a wild card team.
Well, then say it.
All right, San Francisco's my wild card team. I think Garoppolo's.
Rams win the division, though.
Rams win the division. Green Bay, man. I tell you, this is a year in which it's really good. Yeah. And for the year in which the Eagles won the Super Bowl versus last year to even this year, this is the most stacked that it's been, right?
Well,
over the last 3-4 years?
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to really break that down. But I mean, there's a bunch of good teams that are all playoff worthy.
Now, baseball would add another wild card after this year.
Yeah, right.
They'd say, too many good teams didn't make it So we need to add a third wild card in the NFL.
Yeah. Well, who knows? They get this 18-game schedule. Maybe they do add another round of playoffs.
But they're not going to do that 18-game schedule where players can only play 16, right? And you don't know
Oh,
until
that was stupid. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that a couple of weeks ago.
somebody
2
leaked
weeks
that
ago.
from the owners group, and rightfully so.
That's where you'd have to sit Carson
Yeah.
Wentz for two games.
Yeah.
It's just preposterous.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Absolutely. You'd have to sit everybody on the team at least two
for
games.
at least 2 games.
Yeah, come on. 609-403-0973, the text board. Great show. You guys are the best. Thanks for making my hour commute easier. Well, we appreciate you, too. Thank you.
Was that signed?
No, it was not. So people might even accuse me of making it up.
Oh, okay. I don't even know. I've never texted the text board.
Well, you can.
I should during Gil's show.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up.
We should heckle Gil.
No, see, I texted Gil and Moshe were doing this topic yesterday about great sports.
Yeah, and they
memory.
didn't mention your text.
No, and I take the time to send the text out, and they don't even mention the text.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell are we doing, man? You know, the crossover, it's self-serving for Gil.
I actually got mentioned the other day on the show.
Well,
I sent him a text.
Well, yeah, granted, you sent the text, you get mentioned. I sent the text, nothing.
But I sent it
Darkness.
to his phone. I didn't send it to the text
I
board.
sent it to his phone.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and it was darkness.
He
Unbelievable.
ghosted you.
He did.
He ghosted you.
So I'll tell you what, why don't you handle the crossover duties, all right? We'll see how long that lasts when it's just you handling it, all right?
This will be it.
Exactly right.
Yes.
We'll be canceling it ahead of time.
Yes.
All right, I'm sick and tired of reaching out there and not being heard on that show.
All right. Now,
all right? Unbelievable.
The other thing that has now happened, and it's sort of a new day going forward for this show as a result of you, will now be able to sleep like a normal human being.
Yes, correct.
Going forward.
Correct. Now, I'm still going to be working it looks like I'll be doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday now.
Oh, 3 days.
Yeah, so it looks like I'll be doing 3 days a week. But, yeah, so I'm off the overnight at the moment, which,
What do you mean at the moment?
Well, the network that I'm on, they move things around a lot.
Yeah.
All right?
I don't want that to come back. I want you off the overnight.
I've been there for a year, and
Yeah.
I've done nights and weekends. I've done overnight. I've done nights and weekends. I've done Sunday night football. So they move me around a lot. So my point of it is you never know what's going to happen. Like, you know, hey, if they come back with a major offer, Harry, I might have to move to Houston.
Oh, okay.
You know? I
Okay.
might have to sell the house.
Okay, good.
You know?
Yeah, right.
No, I can't. Not with the mortgage rate that I got locked in. I can't sell that house.
You're locked in forever.
I'm there for the next 30 years.
I hope you like your neighborhood.
Trust me. I hope they like me.
Yeah.
Because they're stuck with me for the next 30 years. God willing, I'm on this planet.
So you might just have affected, before too long, the property values
sure.
in that neighborhood, on that street.
I'm positive I did.
In a
Just
negative way.
Wait until they get a load of me and that dog.
And the dog.
Because I'm telling you, man, it's over. It is over. So I don't even remember where I was going with that. But, yeah, as far as the house is concerned, I'm off overnights, and it's actually a blessing in disguise.
It is.
Because I got to be honest, man, I
don't know how you did it.
I was shot.
Well, normally this day, especially, like once it comes to Friday, where you have done 5 overnight shows.
Yeah.
And
this is the fifth
This
midday.
is the 5th midday show. You are just gassed.
Now, here's the problem that you're going to run into, all right? I now have idle time on my hands, and I'm going to want to fill it.
Well,
right?
you got to sleep.
Well,
Get a bed and go to sleep.
Yeah, but think about it. I went from working from like 10:30 at night to about 4:30 in the morning, so about 6 hours a night, right? I went from working that to now having only 2 hours a day plus whatever random stuff I'm doing on top of that.
Take a Lunesta.
No.
And go to sleep.
I think the show needs to expand.
No, this show does not need to expand.
I think we need to take the time and energy spent into the overnight and expand this show.
Absolutely
all right?
not.
Because otherwise, I'm going to be bored. All right? I'm not ready for quasi-retirement like you.
Well,
all right?
I'm loving semi-retirement.
No. I found a couple of gems, by the way, on Tinder for you.
Okay,
this
good.
is great, man. The research I'm doing on these bios, unbelievable. We'll get to that. 1:30, we have a treat here on 97.3 ESPN. At Harry Mays to you at Shander Show. We'll read some tweets, 609-403-0973.